Hey guys, so I'm going to be doing another video for Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. I've, been hearing a lot of talk about the New Heights podcast that Taylor went on with Travis. And I recently saw a reading from a different tarot card reader who had a lot to say about their relationship. So I, was just really curious about kind of where they are at, and trying to, kind of get an idea of where their heads are at. The last reading I did, I believe I kind of got that they were sort of waiting until they could have some time off to connect with each other and get to know each other better, and really have a lot of time to kind of let the connection grow. So I guess I will just jump right in. Now, the other tarot card reader that I listened to said that they didn't see them getting married, that they didn't have, that they weren't in love with each other, that they didn't have a good connection. And so there was just a lot that I was kind of like, what? That can't be true. The first thing I see is that there is a soulmate connection between them. But as you can see, it's right next to the codependency card. And so there's definitely a codependency between the two of them in the relationship. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. It just means that they rely on each other, kind of in the positive aspect of it. Obviously, codependency can become very toxic, but in their case, I don't necessarily see it that way, but in a toxic way. But Taylor, what I kept getting from these two cards being next to each other is that it's very much kind of her MO, or her nature to be codependent. So, one of the things that the cards do kind of wish is that, she would give herself a little bit more self-love. And in order to kind of not be so codependent. And so right underneath these cards, we have healing family issues, forgiving and learning, and calling in your soulmate. So what this kind of tells me is that Taylor is still very much dealing with a lot of kind of insecurity issues. And it stems all the way from her childhood, stems from family issues, with her parents, with her sibling, with, with past relationships, could be even friendships. So there's a lot of things that she needs to address and work on, and, forgive, and learn about, and heal, and kind of let self-love heal those things for her. I don't necessarily think that she is kind of addressing her issues in the most healthy way. It's always good to get those things out of you. So, she's writing, so that's obviously a way to kind of purge your feelings from your physical body and your mind. But I think she needs to go a little bit deeper with her healing, because it is affecting her current relationship. But I will say that, the issues that she has addressed, I think, helped her call in Travis. And so here's the thing about their relationship. They're kind of in a stage right now of their relationship where it's it's still very much like in this playful mode. It's still very much honeymoon period. And she's definitely thinking that, I think they're both thinking this, that like they could be the one for each other. I do think that they do feel this soulmate connection between each other, and I do get that he is different than any other guy that she's ever been with. Like, I don't think she's ever been with somebody who could be so present and playful and fun and kind of unproblematic. You know, that's a big key. You know, he kind of helps her heal her inner child. You know, we've got healing family issues right above children, so that to me, and soulmate is above it. So it's like he's helping her heal her inner child in a way, which is good. But, you know, it could be kind of problematic in just that, like, she still has to go through all of this healing in order to get to a place where they could feel like they are the one for each other. So it's not going to be a quick kind of thing. It's going to be kind of long and drawn out. Now, the other thing that I'm getting here is that I do feel like they would like to start a family with each other. That is something that is very prominent, not just in these cards that I have more over here. It's almost like they see each other as parents to like their future children, even more so than seeing each other as spouses. So they kind of don't necessarily, at least definitely with Taylor, and you know, and I've gotten this before in past readings, that like she's not necessarily super into getting married. It's not something that's like high on her priority list. And from these cards that I got tonight, I feel like she, what's higher on her priority list is becoming a mother rather than becoming a wife. So one thing I do see is that they could possibly get pregnant before they would even ever get engaged or married. So doing things kind of unorthodox or not in a traditional order of things could be something that would be happening for them. So these cards over here are quite interesting to me. The first thing I got here is sort of the working card. Working together card. So what I see from that card is that they're definitely working together. So he's probably maybe helped her in some musical way. Probably definitely been a muse to her, helping her create songs. Obviously he helps promote her a lot, so he promotes her on his podcast and talks about her a lot, and he kind of goes along with all of the secretive numerology puzzles type stuff. Like, I think he kind of gets a kick out of it. He enjoys it, so he is willing to participate in those things. We have the Strength card here, so they do have strong feelings for each other. It's not like it's not a real love. I do think it is a real love. They do have strong feelings for each other. It is just kind of a strange circumstance that how they are in love with each other. So I'll get to that in a minute. But this card also is indicating to me that Travis, it's like she found her golden retriever. I don't know if you guys know that metaphor for a man, but a golden retriever is, is the type of guy that, is like a golden retriever. He sticks around. He kind of is obsessed with you. He, wants to play with you all the time, playfulness. He's fun, he's unproblematic, so I think she enjoys it. It's not always for the best reasons, though, because as you can see, this is somebody kind of taming a lion, right? So it's like she enjoys it because she knows she can control him in a way, because he is totally fine with whatever she wants to do. He will follow her around. He gets a kick out of all the things that she does and says. He is loving her music and obsessed with her, kind of vibe and all of those things. So in a weird way, it can be good, but it also could possibly have negative effects. It's not necessarily negative right now from these cards, but it possibly could be at some point. Now, what I am getting from these cards up here is Taylor's definitely they both kind of are experiencing a little bit of fear in connection with their love. So I think there's definitely a fear of abandonment, fear of being left. So, we have this person who is left by these people all alone and sad. We have this person leaving. And then this is sort of the fear of the mind, being trapped like in your own mind. So there's definitely a fear of losing this sort of different kind of love that I think they both have never experienced, but more so her. I think it's, she is very, very afraid of losing him, just because he brings a certain level of happiness and light and playfulness into her life. And, I think that that's something that she was definitely craving. And, there was the other reader that I listened to, they were saying that, he's not, amused to her and all this stuff, but I don't get that. I get that, it's like she's afraid of losing it because I think she doesn't want to kind of return to this sort of like sad, lonely place. So I think that's partly why she wants to hold on to it so much. Now, the other thing here is, we got the Queen of Wands and the Empress right on top of each other. And so this is also, once again, saying to me that they're thinking about children very much, that she is thinking about becoming a mother very much. So it is something high on their priority list. She definitely wants to become a mother and wants it to probably come first, other than anything else. Now, what's interesting is that we have the Lost card directly above these two motherly cards. And so it says to me that and then we have the fear card right next to it. So to me, it's saying that there could be fear about becoming pregnant, possibly because she might have experienced miscarriage before. I know that we've never heard about her, having a miscarriage, but there's been a couple songs that she's written that you could maybe argue could be about that. So there's definitely fear about getting pregnant, or like not being able to get pregnant. So there's also fear of like him leaving her if she can't get pregnant. So this is like a big thing on their mind. Probably they've had lots of conversations about this. So I don't know if she might have some sort of fertility issue where maybe she had to bring it up to him and talk to him about it. I don't think it's something that it caused an issue per se, but it's just something that's very much on their mind. Now we got the Lover's card in with this, so obviously that tells me they're very much sexually attracted to each other and that they enjoy having sex with each other. So they have a healthy sex life, for sure. And we got the playfulness card, so I think ultimately they have probably a very lovely sex life. There could be something with this, and I'll tell you that in a minute. But anyways, the only other thing I see here is, we have the Knave of Wands. This does kind of tell me that they do need to be careful about a couple of things. They need to be careful about distance between each other. So, like, when they're both working and getting very much, deep in the weeds of their work, they need to remember to like check in with each other and not let the connection fade. There's also a little bit of, she has a tendency to kind of sometimes brood a little bit, get moody, go into herself. It could be like when she's in writing mode, where she's like trying to conjure up, something that's poetic. So she needs to be careful about not like isolating him out when she's kind of in that mode. She also needs to be careful about not revisiting too much from her past, because for someone like Travis, who is a golden retriever type of person, who's very positive and happy, I don't think like he would be super into somebody that would be like moody and depressive and sad about the past, and he'd be like, what are you thinking about the past for? Like, let's think about what's happening tomorrow. Like, let's think about the future. Like, let's make it today the best day ever. So it's sort of like, it's a good thing for her that he is so positive, but also it could create a little bit of a divide between them, because they have sometimes, not all the times, but it's like sometimes they have such different personalities, or not necessarily personality, but like different views on how on how things could be. So it's like, I think she clicked very, very much with Joe, and was with him for so long because he kind of fed into that side of her. But what's interesting is that like he went a little too far. He took it too far and was like too much in that moody, depressive state, and like she couldn't handle it. So it's like Travis is the total antithesis of that, where he is this super positive, loving, fun person, and so, but he could take it too far the other way, where it's like, oh my god, like, can you like snap out of your mood, like, can we just like be happy? And then she'd be like, I'm trying to write poetry, so there could be sort of like a little bit of that issue where they need to be careful about. I did ask the cards if Taylor was in love with Travis. I do see that she does love him very much. There's a lot of emotions. We've got the 2 kids playing here, so like I said, he brings out the inner child in her. He's healing her inner child, and he it's like puppy love. Like, he makes her feel like a kid in love, and and vice versa. She does the same for him, but yeah, there is a little bit of that there. I do see that she does want to marry him, or sees him as like husband material. And what she also loves about him is that he worships her. Like I said, he's the golden retriever, so he just is obsessed with her and puts her on a pedestal, and she loves that. I asked if Travis was in love with Taylor, and what I get is that he's definitely very sexually attracted to her. So, that is something huge with him. Very into her sexually. And a lot of men do, kind of show their love physically in that way. So, I wouldn't say that doesn't mean that he doesn't love her. I would say that it could be, kind of specific to that. He admires her mind very much. He is very interested in things she has to say, how smart she is. I think like I said, he gets a kick out of like the puzzles and the numerology and the big words and all those things. Like, he loves to just like listen to her talk and that sort of thing. I do see that he also sees her as marriage material, and does think of her in that way. The only thing I would say is, like, they're just not like there yet, to where it's like that sort of deep love, like deep romantic love connection, and I don't know if they would get there or if they wouldn't, from these cards alone. I do think that, like I said, they're in the honeymoon stage. They're like in that puppy love stage. That's why I feel like it's not there yet to kind of predict that like they're gonna get married. But I do see that like they're at the beginning stages of it. It's like they feel like they're soulmates. They see each other as spouses. They see each other as the mother and father of their children. They are healing each other's, childhood wounds. Like, there's a lot of things here that are really, really good. I think it's getting misconstrued, from other readers, because it's not screaming like, I'm like deeply, madly in love with you. It's very much still in this like puppy love stage. Some people might think that like that's it should have already gotten there by now. They've been together for like 2 years, but also I think there was a huge chunk of time and stuff that they probably were not seeing each other and stuff because she was on tour, he's doing football. Like, they have very busy schedules, so it's sort of like they are taking their time to really get to know each other, to really feel it out. She, like I said, is very terrified of making a mistake, of something going wrong or driving him away or something. So she really wants to take it slow and not jeopardize anything. I think he feels the same way about that. He even said in the podcast, like, I didn't want to do anything to screw this up. So it's like they are really trying to take it slow and not, do anything too rash or but what I said is, like, you could see them do things like out of order. We could see a pregnancy before we see a marriage, stuff like that could possibly happen. But yeah, that's kind of what I got from these cards. I think ultimately they're in love. They are in the honeymoon stage still, and I think they definitely like want to take it slow and maybe live with each other first. Like they're not rushing into getting married whatsoever, and I think it's just gonna take more time for them to like get to know each other and feel like, you know, they are the one for each other. And I mean, I think like it could be missing a little bit of depth right now, like the relationship itself. You know, and you know, like I said, she is a poet, so you know, she might feel, you know, a need for some sort of depth or controversy or like fireworks, you know. But ultimately, I think she knows that that doesn't make for a happy life. You know, it's like it creates great art, but it leaves her, you know, in this miserable state. So I think this is why she doesn't want to lose her, you know, golden retriever love, because like he is willing to just like be there for her, and he's kind of like he is the guy, like after you date the bad boy who broke your heart, that you're like, oh, this is a little bit boring. Like he's so good on paper. Like if you've ever seen Sex and the City, you know, he's Dr. Bradley Migo, where he's like a little bit boring. He's like a little bit like too safe, too perfect. And it gets misinterpreted as somebody who's not ringing all the bells. He's someone who's not, you know, giving all the fireworks. But ultimately, he's like gonna be the good dad, you know. He's gonna be the guy who is gonna be there for her. He's gonna be the guy that like listens to her talk about all her like past issues and like and hear her out. And so it's like she's gonna choose, she desperately wants to choose that over the other feeling, but it's like she has to like kind of work through those feelings and get to a place where she's like, oh, you are my soulmate. Like I didn't need the fireworks, I didn't need that stuff. Like what I really needed was, you know, this person who is like a warm blanket, you know. So that's kind of what I see for them. Hopefully, you know, everything goes well for them. I think it will. I don't foresee a breakup. I think there's just fears. There's, you know, a little bit of growing up that needs to happen. There's a little bit of like, you know, moving on from the past. And it's not any past person, I think. It's more of like moving on from like the past person that Taylor used to be. It's like the past person that kind of loved the thrill of a wild romance, and it's like now we're an adult and we're going to fall in love and you know, be with somebody who is kind and sweet and will be there for me always and will be a good father and a good husband to me. So I wish them both all the luck in the world, and let me know if you want any other celebrities done and take care. Thank you.